you used to work at Airbnb, and you had a specific job, and you were basically like, this isn't working. So you went with some friends and colleagues and designed something better, and were like, you know what, let's just start a company that does this. That's pretty fair, right?
No, that's absolutely fair. So my co-founder Lou and I were both engineering and product leaders at Airbnb, and we had to go through this confusing procurement process of, if we need to buy something in the business, what are all the approvals that are required, right, between budget and legal and IT and security and all the different teams. And that's what we solved. We started Zip to solve for, by providing one front door for any employee in the business to request a purchase.
I'm really interested that you're AI-powered. What form is this? Generative AI, more broad AI? Because you're serving OpenAI, for example. So you built upon their large language model. How does that all go? What are you building that they can't internally for their own process procurement?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's absolutely generative AI. And if you think about the procurement process as a whole, right, we have access to so much relatively unstructured data, right? When employees at organizations are buying things, there are millions of contracts, invoices, order forms, so much data that's available, and we can take AI and actually apply it in a really, really practical way, which is what we do for our enterprise customers today, to do everything from helping parse invoices to reading MSAs and contracts for risks and the like.
You're with the money, hiring engineering talent, R&D talent. You're setting up an AI lab. And I go back to really what is underlying all of this. Are you building your own large language models to be able to do this? Are you looking to develop that more with these tools that you want to build in the AI lab?
That's a great question. So we absolutely are using these funds to invest and create an AI lab, and really double click on, if you know, like I sort of said, like the data that we have access to as part of procurement, and really thinking about how do we best apply it in a practical way. And so there's more that we'll have to share there in the coming months.
And so which LLM are you using?
So we today largely use the OpenAI models.
I broke my own rule, which is I always start on what's newest and fresh, but I wanted the backstory because it was probably 2 years ago that you and I first met. So in that time, you've raised a lot of money, you have a decent valuation, more than $2 billion, but have you built a business in that time? Have you managed to take this product and technology and actually sell it to other businesses and enterprises who in turn are using it themselves?
Yeah, of course. We've been really privileged to work with some of the largest enterprises in the world, companies like Discover Financial, Snowflake, Prudential, Coinbase, and many others. And even as an example, Discover Financial has saved over 3,000 different business approvals that they've realized they don't need anymore. Or Snowflake has over $305 million of Zip-supported savings logged. What we find is that procurement is actually the second largest area of spend for any business in the world after payroll. Right? It's trillions of dollars in the world that employees at companies are buying for office supplies, software, and the like. And so there's so much opportunity.
And for you yourselves, building on top of OpenAI, what's that been like? In the news cycle, it's pretty chaotic when it comes to OpenAI, but as a customer or partner, what was it like for you?
I'd have to say it's been great, and the feedback that we've received from customers has been really positive. As an example, Coinbase has saved thousands and thousands of hours with Zip processing hundreds of thousands of invoices in a much more automated way.